Well, hello, it's Sunday morning, and I have not completely rested, um, but wanted to get on here and share with you my day and evening yesterday. As you know, I told you I was going to be um, playing at the Lincoln Calling Music Festival, which I did last night. My name is on here, but I'm all the way at the bottom. I'm on the bottom line, but my name is there. And it was a fantastic night. What a wonderful day. Well, the whole day was just great. Um, yeah, I love shit like this. Here's my artist laminate. I love it. I love it, and it feels good. It feels good to be recognized, and I like being walking around and just having access, and then and it's like it's fun. It's fun. So besides doing Lincoln Calling, I went down early in the day and I went to Lefty's Records. Lefty's is in Lincoln, run by my friend Les. Here's the T-shirt. Love you, Les. I told him I would let him know when I'm wearing the T-shirt. I'm wearing it now because I'm still absorbing the good experience I had. So many good things about it. I ran into so many friends, people who I know, people who I don't know who I am. I do enjoy that. I do enjoy being recognized. Are you're Dereck Higgins? Yeah, I like that. It happened a lot. And before playing last night, I got to do some digging at Lefty's. Now, this isn't the first time I've done any record crate digging this year, but it's the first time I did it where it was enjoyable. Earlier this year, I participated in the Drastic Plastic closeout sale, and I spent money there, but I was full of anxiety because I was spending money and I didn't know where I was gonna, it was gig money that I have to live on, so it was anxiety ridden. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough money to pay bills next month, but I can't pass this up. So this was wonderful to do some crate digging without anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy a lot, but it was just nice to be able to go to a record store. It's been years, okay? It has been. So I want to mix it up, and I bought a few things. Hardly played anything because I got home late. What a blast. Let me start with the part of Lincoln Calling that I participated in was the Avant-garde experimental music feature, or whatever you would call it, expose. It was at an art gallery, the Tugboat Gallery, and it was a great lineup. So earlier this year, I got through Public Eyesore Records, some CDs to review. One of them was by, I played with him last night, this fella, Bill Brovold, Stone Soup. Now, when I got this and reviewed it, I didn't get it. I didn't quite understand, because what's happening here is it's Bill playing 4 notes, and then he sends those 4 notes to other people to improvise with. But his part is just the 4 notes, okay? So when I first listened to this and realized that, well, Bill's just doing the same thing, and I didn't get it. So when I met him last night, great guy, really, really super human being, full of humor and mirth, He explained to me, I told him, well, my association with Public Eyesore, and then I got this and reviewed it, and it kind of made my head scratch. And when he explained to me, he gave me another one of his CDs, Superstar. Isn't that wild? Bill Brovold. Very good guitarist. He's on John Zorn's label too. But what he told me was, for this one, he said, well, you know what? What happened was I was just feeling those four notes. There was just something when I just play those notes, and that's all that I needed. That's all that was calling to me at the time, so that's what I sent to people. And actually, I'm going to revisit this today after his set was brilliant. I was just so blown away. It was the Mighty Vitamins. Jay Creamer, the guy who organized it, he's a music professor down at the University of Lincoln of Nebraska. His group was first. Then it was Amanda DeBoer Bartlett, who is with Ensemble Del Niante. They made a record recently with Deerhoof. She was next. Operatically trained, PhD, amazing. Then was Bill Brovold with two musicians that he brought in from Minneapolis with him. They were amazing. Then me. And then the headline for the expose, I was blown away where they put me in the lineup. I figured I'd probably start. I wasn't nervous because, I know what I can do. And I did it. And then the headliner was this guy, Gollum. This is a CD he gave me that he made in 2015 with Nels Klein. Someone just asked me what I think of Nels Klein. Well, here I played a show last night with Gollum, who's friends and has worked with Nels Klein. And I played some of this already because this fella is a keyboardist, classically trained. He had the full boat where he could have gone, the full ride because he's that good. And he left academia. He had an awakening, and he left that bullshit, fake shit world that I hate. That is all concerned about artifice and materialism and money. I vibed with this guy big time. I mean, he's an amazing musician. He is. So he gave this to me. He had a bunch of CDs, but he wanted me to have this. This is the one he made with Nels Klein in 2015, called Radical Empathy, and the drummer on here is Michael Wimberly. You get this, people. This is fantastic. I got to play with this guy last night. Yeah, I'm stoked and still excited. I love shit like this. It's I'm glad that I learned a long time ago about recognizing what's important, which is the moment. This moment. It's not later when you think about it or what you're projecting into the future. Most of us waste a lot of time doing that, stuck in the past, thinking about the future, missing life. And I'm having a blast, because I remember to be in the moment. Everything was recorded last night, so I told Jay that I would like a copy of my performance. It went well, and everyone, including the audience, I was so happy with the audience response. People really responded emotionally to what I did. But I used some spoken word. I do plan to, if the recording came out good, I plan to release what I did last night. I used spoken word and sampled it and looped and played bass. And I used the voices of Angela Davis and Laurie Anderson. And I just knew that it worked. Their voices and the way that I manipulated them, it was very touching. And then it led my playing into an emotional place where I didn't know where I was going to go with it. And people were touched, including Gollum, Great guy. There's a picture of us on my Facebook page. Bill was also just an absolute joy. His band was really good. And I was, again, honored to be asked to play after these guys, because I haven't played this yet, but he explained to me this silly cover. And it's a John Zorn related story. I forget the details, but I love being in this company of people. And also I want to mention that this Tholem, it's Thollem, Tholem. The liner notes for this are written by Fred Frith, and he waxes real enthusiastic about this And when you hear it, you'll hear why. I'm so jazzed, you know. I really hit it. Well, I said, I hope our paths cross again, Thalum. I would love to do some work with you. I'd love to record with you. And tentatively planning to do some work with the Mighty Vitamins here in the near future, some recording. It was a fantastic time. I just ran into a whole lot of people. You know, what was going on with a lot of the other music is this soul. You know, and soul is fine with me, you know, but it's like I almost have kind of a funny attitude. It's like, well, yeah, I know this stuff, you know. I was there the first round, you know, which is really, it's like it's meaningless to anyone but me, but that's kind of how I feel about it. So everyone was telling me, man, if you can get a chance, go see Lee Fields, go see Lee Fields. Well, I didn't get a chance to see him. Well, actually, they were playing when I left. I didn't bother to go in because it was raining and I was trying to get to my car and get out of the rain. But I'm not impressed with this new soul stuff that everyone is impressed with. But again, I think it's because it's the new round. You know, these young people weren't here to experience Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and people like that, you know, in real time. So this stuff is just kind of like it's like old news to me. It doesn't excite me or capture my interest at all. But my thought was if I could meet Lee and do a selfie, that would be fun, you know. I love being in league with these people, okay? But what I'm interested in is what else do people have to say? What else are you going to do artistically instead of just showing me the same moves, okay? I think that explains where I'm coming from with my musical stance really well, okay? So I bought some records, nothing earth-shattering. I only got to pop a couple of them on last night when I got home as I was winding down going to bed. And I found this in his $4 bins, which are his cheapo bins, but this is Larry Coryell album that I'd never had, The Restful Mind, and this is really beautiful. I'm so happy to get it. It also, it's a British pressing, which I like, foreign pressings. This is really good. It's with, it's basically with Oregon, Ralph Towner, Colin Walcott, and Glenn Moore. Beautiful album. So I've got that. Lefty and I have some history. You know, we go back to the 70s, you know. And so it's always good to catch up with him and talk to him. He's so kind to me. He gave me the shirt, and he also gave me Dave Nance's album, the Dave Nance Group. Turns out that his niece is married to Dave. Married? Yeah. I have not played with Dave Nance yet, but I played with almost everyone in his group. I'm familiar with Dave Nance. You know, we're friendly when I see him, but I have not had the occasion to play with him, which I'd like to. But this is still sealed. But Les gave me a copy of this, which is on Troubled Mind Records. Pieced and slightly pulverized. I'm happy for Dave Nance that he has been experiencing indie level success internationally. He's gotten his name out there. This I went ahead and bought Julie Cruz. I have the album Floating into the Night with the music rock for what was the show that I never watched? Was it Twin Peaks? See, I just not into TV. But I saw this down there, The Voice of Love, Julie Cruz, and I thought to myself, and then I saw it was produced, arranged, and orchestrated by Angelo Badalamenti, and is produced by David Lynch. So I was thinking, well, they're going to try and recapture that ambience of that first record, which is, I love it. And it's pretty, I've only played one side, and it's good. It's good. But it's also nice because it's on this beautiful red vinyl. So this was in the used section, so I didn't have to pay full price. I looked at his new records, and there was nothing there that said to me, you need to buy this. Nothing. And it's not that he didn't have a good selection, but I'm not really too surprised about that about myself at this point. Um, record collecting and crate digging is not quite the same as it was as it was for me 30, 40 years ago. So there was a lot of stuff that I saw. It's like, well, this is interesting. I'd like to hear it, but I'm not going to pay full price to find out about this. Okay. So the other stuff that I got was all used. Just a few more things here. I told him anything you have on ECM that I don't have, if it's reasonably priced, I'm going to grab it. And he only had a few things, but I got them all. Here is an excerpts of Keith Jarrett's Sun Bear concerts. I think there's a version of this as a big fat box set. I don't think I would need that, But Keith Jarrett is a genius. I'll give him that. He's a genius. I mean, like, the man, he's one of those kind of people who plays, every time he plays, he could release it as a record, which he's practically done. I mean, a lot of people could do that with their artistry. A lot could. So I picked that up. I got this other Keith Jarrett album, Concerts. And this looks like this is, yes, solo piano. Another one for my Keith Jarrett section in my ECM collection. Gary Burton, he gave this to me for $4 because of the shitty cover. Record's in great shape. This is one I didn't have. The new quartet, Gary Burton. I do like Gary Burton. Grab that. And I got one more ECM. I got this one. Chick Corea with Steve Kujala. Voyage. I haven't played this one yet either. Very happy to add these ECMs to my ECM collection. It was great to see Les too. He wasn't feeling well. He was having some sinus shit. I used to have this on CD, and I don't know why I sold it, because I really liked it. So when I saw it on vinyl, I said, well, even better. Holger Hiller. Oben im Eck. He was in the band Palais Schomburg, who I have their album, still have it, still like it. I don't speak German. Like I said, it's, I may be really a real nerd. I really don't have to know what you're talking about. You could be cursing me out. I might enjoy it, if the music's right. Like, for example, there are black metal bands that are, I understand, just really dedicatedly racist. I don't necessarily know the names of these bands, but I like black metal. And I wouldn't be surprised if I've listened to some black metal where I really like the music, but these people, if they met me, they would probably want to murder me. So I kind of like that it's like, I don't, really, you can say whatever you're saying, you better do it in the music, because that's what's hitting me. And this is really good. Oben im Eck, Holger Hiller. Real glad to pick that up. And I got one more. I haven't played this. I can't tell if this is a whole album. Yeah, this is a whole album. Underworld. I love Underworld. And their records on vinyl are always really expensive, so this was glad this was used. Barbara, we face a shining future. I like Underworld. So that's what I picked up in the at Lefty's. And just had a great time. I'm not going to do a poll this morning. I wanted to share that stuff with you. Oh, I did buy one 7-inch single. Flaming Desire by Bill Nelson. Yeah. Okay, people. I'm going to drink coffee and listen to a little bit of music and hopefully take a nap here soon. I feel blessed, I do. I feel blessed, I'm just real thankful. And one other thing I noticed is that Lincoln Calling, it was in downtown Lincoln, and Lincoln is the capital of Nebraska. And unlike Omaha, downtown Lincoln is still alive. Downtown Omaha is trying to revitalize, has been for the longest time, but the main strip of Omaha, downtown Omaha, is dead, still real dead. Now, there's homeless people downtown in Omaha, but not like I saw in Lincoln yesterday. Yesterday made me think of the coasts. Like, this must be getting to be what it's like in San Francisco and LA. Every street there were people on one street. There was almost a line of people who were obviously homeless, had everything with them, these little signs, and that's it. Where they are is, this is it. You know, and I spoke to a couple of them. I ain't got no money to give, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, and I've been homeless, so I understand. I've been homeless twice. Once not in Omaha, so I was really homeless. Okay, so I know what it's like. But the thing that never escapes me is I'm glad I'm not the sort of person who is so heartless that because I have everything that I need and I've got it good and I'm rich, that I'm just leaving everyone behind. Just, you know, I've got it, and I've got more than I need. I've got more than I could ever need. But it's mine. And fuck the rest of you people. I'm glad I'm not like that. Because homelessness is a plight, and it doesn't, just like poverty. Poverty is man-made. We created poverty. There's no lack. There's enough of everything, including housing. But materialism and material-mindedness, mine, I earn this, or it's mine, you know, it's a travesty. It's a fucking shame. Last thing I'll say is, I have great love and respect for Greta Thunberg. She is truly the example, the living example of where one person's vision and said, well, I'm just going to do this. And she's mobilizing the world. Because we're living with the climate change effects now. It's not, it's a shame that even on public radio, they still have to talk about it like, well, could it be? Because they don't want to offend the people that are paying the bills. You know, that's what it's all about. It's the fucking money, you know. We're living with the effects of it, you know, and yet because we're dealing with this material mind, which is, well, everything's fine and I got my gated community. I got what I need. It's cold. It's cold. And with all those things in mind, there's no way that you can tell me that literally practically anybody in office, especially in America, is worth a fuck. Fuck them all. And I'm going to chime in with my British brothers and sisters. Fuck Boris Johnson too, because I can see he is your version of Trump. What the hell has happened to this world? Thank God for music. Okay, I'm out of here.